You are allowed to like yourself. You are allowed to see that you are good. You are allowed to celebrate yourself if you have a victory, or if you have achieved something. You are allowed to fully celebrate yourself. Society has convinced so many people that thinking positive about oneself would be something negative. But how can that be? And the same society tells you you should be confident. You should be confident, but you should not be proud of yourself, and you should not think that you are good. Then, how crazy is that? Should you believe that you are only this good and then it's perfect for society? If you like yourself a little bit, but not too much, please, not too much, because then, you're arrogant, you're egotistical, selfish. Oh, that's not good. Something is different than it seems. And it is that arrogance is rooted in lack consciousness. Arrogance is rooted in the belief that we are separate from others and from life. You can only be arrogant if you see yourself as a separate being. If you feel connected, if you are connected to your heart and you have a lot of love in your heart for others, then you will not be too arrogant. And even if you are sometimes a little bit arrogant for a short moment because you try to become more confident, that is fine. We have all been there. If we're honest with ourselves, we have all felt that we were better than somebody else, because society has convinced us that there were only this kind of self-worth that would be rooted in looks, in intelligence and achievement and money and status. Only this flexible self-worth, and that we need to achieve something to become worthy. But that is only the one kind of self-worth, and we have another kind of self-worth, and the other kind of self-worth is our self-worth as a human being. And as a human being, because the value of a human being is not limited, it's not measurable, it's always 100% there, and because of that we are always worthy. We don't need to have a high success self-worth to be worthy as a human, because our natural self-worth is always there. So, and because so many people have believed these two kinds of self-worth were one, and they needed to fight, they needed to compare each other to become worthy, they have not realized they were always worthy. And because of this lack consciousness, people felt like they felt separate from their inner being. And if we are connected to our love, we don't become too arrogant. Because if there is true confidence that is rooted in self-knowledge, in understanding who we truly are, through our experience, not through our beliefs and thoughts, through our experience, through meditation. If we truly know who we are as a being, and that even if we have flaws and shadows, and if we are not perfect, be it that we are always good enough, if we know that, these kind of confidence that is also not only in self-acceptance but also an acceptance of other beings and of their nature. I want to say divine nature. It doesn't matter how you would call it, but their potential to feel joy, their potential to feel love. They all have this inner being. If it is a true human being, it has a soul, it has an inner being. In this soul, this inner being is pure. It's pure love. And because of that, other people are also so valuable always, no matter if they see it and if they express how worthy they are, or even if they feel so unworthy and they don't express how worthy they are, they still are it. They are so valuable. And if we can see that everybody is so valuable, then we don't become arrogant if we are confident and we see that we are wonderful beings. Not flawless, not without shadows, and we don't need to be perfect to be valuable and to be good enough. And if we have that understanding, and if we feel connected to the other beings, then there is no way we can be too confident, or that we can have too much self-acceptance or self-love. In the same way that we cannot truly love another being too much, we cannot love ourselves too much. True self-love is real love. This is the opposite of being egotistical. Because love makes us happy. It makes us feel fulfilled. And this happiness and this feeling of being fulfilled is something that makes us somebody. It lets us become somebody who is able to share joy and love with other people. And this is the opposite of being egotistical. People who are egotistical, and I don't want to judge that, because also again I think it is something what we all have felt at some point in our life. Being egotistical means we feel a lack inside of us, a lack of love, a lack of acceptance for ourselves, and a lack of something, maybe of abundance or attention or something. And if we feel this lack and we believe we are lacking something, then we feel we need it. We need to put ourselves first. We cannot give so much to others, because then there would not be enough for us. So people try to fight for attention, to do something, to be the center of attention, or to... And when I say do something to be the center of attention, I'm not talking about doing something that feels natural and that brings them joy, but trying to be more, trying to desperately get attention or get something from others. Because, yeah, like I said, we have all felt that. We have all done that, if we are honest with ourselves. So, no judgment here, okay? But it is so good that we see the difference. Is there a lack consciousness behind it? Do we prioritize ourselves because we think otherwise we would not get enough? Or do we prioritize ourselves out of true self-love and because we feel, yes, we deserve it, we can allow that to ourselves. We can be the center of attention naturally without trying to be different, without doing anything other than being ourselves. This is so different. There's nothing wrong with being the center of attention. Please understand me in the right way. It depends from which energy this is coming. All actions that we do, it's not about what we do, it's about from which place, from which energy are we coming. Are we coming from joy and love, or are we coming from a place where we feel we have not enough and some fear, some thoughts we're not good enough? If we act from that place of lack, of scarcity, then we will not get more through these actions, because they are not coming from this inner place of joy and love. So with every decision, it's so important that we decide out of this abundance mindset. Yes, we are good enough. We are all worthy. We are all good enough. Even if we are developing, even if we are not perfect, even if we make mistakes, we are still good enough. And if we treat each other and ourselves with this kindness, then we feel so much happier. And then it's easy to come from this inner place of abundance. And what I want to say to this is, people who make big mistakes are young souls. If a child that is 1.5 years old grabs the hair of his mother and pulls it, we would not judge that in the same way than if an adult would do that to the mother, right? And it is important that we understand that people who behave very unconscious are young souls in adult bodies. And please understand me right. I'm not saying we should not have consequences for actions that are wrong. Of course, consequences are needed. That's very important. Also, with the child who would do that, you would say to the child, no, you cannot do this, right? There is a consequence. Or maybe you would tell the child, hey, I don't want to read you in the evening beautiful story if you treat me like this. Then for bedtime I don't read this story that I usually read to you. Maybe you would tell that to the child. There is a consequence. Consequences and boundaries are needed. Also with these young souls who behave in a way which is not good. But It does not need to come with a harsh judgment. Like we see that this child has not the same level of consciousness as an adult. Young souls, even if they live in adult bodies, some souls have not the same level of consciousness. And it is our job to help them to develop to a higher state of consciousness instead of judging them too harshly. Yes, a certain kind of judgment is needed, because seeing, okay, this is good, this is not good, there needs to be some adjustments, like there needs to be some consequences. We need some kind of judgment to decide, but we don't need to put them in a box and say, oh, they are bad, they like this. If a child does that, we don't say, oh, this is a bad child, you see? And every human being has this inner being, like I said before, has the capacity to feel love, to feel joy, and we can help people to develop that more and to become more conscious and more kind. And that's a better way to deal with people who make big mistakes. And because we all have made mistakes, and most of us have also done some mistakes that we would consider big mistakes, or not big mistakes, but we know how it feels to make a mistake, right? We didn't want it to do that. We did not knew it before, that we would see it so differently later. Otherwise we would have not done that. So we can be kind to us, and we can be kind to others. And if we have more acceptance for ourselves and for others, acceptance is the basis that is needed for change. Acceptance does not mean saying yes to everything. Acceptance means we accept that something is like it is. We don't push it away and say, oh, we judge it, we don't want it, it's bad. We say, okay, this is what it is, I take it. And if I take it, then I can do something with it, then I can change something. Yeah? If I accept my shadows, if I accept all of my emotions and really feel them, then they will change. If I give my emotions the attention that they want, my emotions, my negative emotions are like little children, and if I give them the love and the attention that they want, then they will heal. This is my experience. And this is what we can show people who need help to see the way. If you would like to book a personal coaching, and by the way, I'm not coaching everybody, I need to say that, because how can I explain this? It's maybe like, yeah, it's like, it needs to feel good for me to work with somebody. And we can figure that out in a free Zoom meeting, if it's a match. And if it feels good for me and for you, and you're interested in a coaching, then you can book a personal coaching. And the details are below in the description box. So feel free to check that out and have a nice day. And I wish you a lot of happiness and joy for today. See you in another video.